Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Connor Flanagan to the podcast. So, Connor, it's nice to sit with you finally.
Hey, it's been a long time in the making. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, if well, I mean, it was a long time in the making. Connor and I think I reached out to Connor back in like 2023, so we're almost in 2026. Like we're almost halfway, we're already halfway through 2025, and like
Yeah.
we were going back and forth. I think Brad and I had something planned, and Connor took a little break on social media and everything, and then like we tried again in 2024. Schedules didn't line up, but now we're doing this. So
We're doing it. I feel like the industry just moves that way. Like when things are supposed to happen, they happen. You know what I mean? And so I think this is the perfect time to have this podcast.
Connor, can you tell us a little bit about your music journey? Like, what made you come to like Christian music? Like, how did faith in music start to come to you?
Yeah, I mean, music has been a part of my life my whole life. I feel like I grew up in a big Irish family, and so every family gathering or party had live music and in it it's somewhere. You know, I grew up playing the flute and the tin whistle. My cousins played the tin whistle, the fiddle. I had other cousins who Irish danced, and so every family party had some sort of music and dancing element to it. And so I fell in love with music. I learned to play by ear from a very young age, and then picked up instruments in like grade school and played all through high school. And but I always just had a love for live music. I grew up going to this festival called the Alive Fest and in Ohio. And that's when I really felt the like fire start to grow in my heart of like I watched these artists on these stages and I was like, man, I just want to do that. And I didn't know, like I remember thinking like I didn't know you could do this. Like you could use your musical gifts to glorify God and worship in this way and uh, communicate joy in this way. And it was just I was so captivated by it. And it was actually cool, like from that moment, sitting around a campfire, because we would camp at this festival multiple summers of my childhood. Um, I remember sitting around the campfire, just thinking about and dreaming about, like I want to be one of these guys. And just last weekend, I played a live fest for the first time as an
Say you
artist.
just played there, I think.
Yeah, so it was a really cool, really cool full circle moment for me in my career, and we had a great show. It was awesome. But yeah, I fell in love with that at an early age, and then just kind of had the hunger. And in an age before it was like Instagram and TikTok and social media, all I knew how to do was like the next thing in front of me. So I was like, well, I guess I should ask for a guitar for my birthday, and then I guess I should take guitar lessons, and then I guess I should find people in my school who want to try to write songs with me. You know, it was just kind of like all these simple little practical steps, and all the while, God was growing this gift and this desire in my heart to the point where it's brought me this far. You know, where now I'm doing it as a full time artist. All these many years later.
Cool. And you said a live fest is in Ohio. Are you from Ohio then?
Yeah, yeah. I grew up just outside of Cleveland in a town called Richfield. I'm now living in St. Paul, Minnesota. I've been here. My wife's from here, so we've been out here for almost 12 years now. But I grew up, yeah, just outside of Cleveland.
Michigan. So I don't get along with Ohio
Uh,
too. But
well, contrary to most Ohioans, I am not an Ohio State fan, so we can have a friendship. We'll be okay.
that's why I don't wear like Ohio State hats or Michigan
Yeah,
hats.
yeah,
I was interviewing an artist recently, and he was an Ohio State fan, Billy Buchanan, and he was with Fusebox back in the day, and we were talking about Michigan and Ohio State like back and forth for like 5 minutes on the podcast.
That's
The
awesome.
week
Yeah.
right before the game too, so it's like one of more rivalry.
Now I am a Notre Dame fan, and I know there's a lot of beef with Notre Dame and Michigan, but it's not nearly as extreme as Ohio State, Michigan, so we should be okay.
Notre Dame's not bad. I'll give you that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can continue this podcast episode now that I know that Connor's not an Ohio
That's right.
State
That's
fan.
right. Yeah.
But you were just talking about a live fest, and with that, you have a new album that is coming out depending on the date we release this
Yeah.
episode called Seasons.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that project and the journey of that? Like, what's the heart? What sparked that project?
Yeah, the record's called Seasons. It's coming out August 5th. So maybe depending on when you release this episode, you might have already heard it. Maybe today's release day. I don't know. Who knows? It's really just the story of these last 2 years. So about 2 years ago to this summer, I quit my full-time work to be an artist. So I've been building my music business and my artistry for almost 10 years now. And it was just 2 years ago that I quit my job to go full-time. And we quit. I mean, we discerned it, we prayed into it, we felt really called to it. We felt a lot of peace about the decision. But once you're on the other side of that decision, man, it's been a wild ride. The ups and downs of making a living as an artist and paying bills and providing. I have 4 kids and another on the way very soon. So we'll have 5 kids here soon, and it's just been a wild ride. And I thought the discernment to make the decision to go full time was hard, and that was the easy part. Like praying into that was the easy part. Now being on the other side of it, like living that yes, like we said yes to God's call, and now living that yes has been the hard part. Uh, and I say that in a joyful way, like it's been awesome. You know, it's been so life giving for our family. It's been God has been providing for us, but it has been tough. So this record is just that story. It's called Seasons because it just talks about the different seasons of life that God has us in, and it's these songs are songs that I wrote for myself to help me get through this season of life, like to keep me anchored and to keep me grounded, to keep me close to Jesus in times where I felt immense stress and anxiety, to keep my spirits up when I felt like I was down in the depths of despair and like this, God, we followed you into this unknown of a music career as a full-time artist, and where are you now in the midst of it? So it's been, this record has really been kind of the soundtrack to my last 2 years. And as I was going through the ups and downs of the last 2 years, I was getting together with my producer every other week, and we were just writing, and we're just kind of putting demos aside. And it wasn't until even like 8 months ago that I was like, man, I think it's time we really finish some of these. And so we got together and cranked it out. And I'm really excited. It's the best music I've ever made by far, and I can't wait for people to hear it.
With that being said, like you've been working on this for the last 2 years. It's kind of like that podcast episode. So like this is probably what you were up to at this time. So it's really exciting to see it all come full circle actually. And
Well, yeah, that's you had mentioned earlier that I'd taken a step back from social media, and it's so true. I just felt God calling, like a God saying, "Hey, like focus on Him first and foremost, and then focus on my music and my art." And in today's day and age in the music industry, like social media is such a huge part of it. Like it's hard to exist as an artist if you're not dumping time and energy and resources into the digital space. And I was like, I just am tired of it. I need to like go back to how I originally started writing songs, which was like me, my guitar, and the Lord. And I need to go there for inspiration first before I go online for inspiration. And so this record is the fruit of that. Like this record is the fruit of me kind of getting back to my roots, going to Jesus first, cutting out all distraction, and just writing what I felt like God was welling up in my heart, and writing the story that I was living, putting it to music. And honestly, like, well, I'm holding it loose. Like this record, I don't know what it's going to do. I feel like it's going to be a big record for me, but it's already been big because it's brought healing and peace and joy to my soul. And so my prayer is that it would do that same thing for whoever listens to it.
during like this record season, was there a specific moment where you felt like God's presence in a unique way? Like, yes, let's keep going on with this record because I know in a genre that's ever so changing in the music industry, Christian music industry especially is ever so changing now. You're seeing like a big emergence in like hip hop, but now you're also seeing a big emergence in like country, R&B, and
Yeah.
all these artists are trying 800 styles now. Like Brandon Lake's last album, it was country, it was rock, it was hip hop,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
worship. Did you feel like his presence in like a different, unique way, or like how do you feel about like the different genres? Like everyone's evolving, trying to do different genres.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I was just on Instagram today and I saw a friend of mine who's an independent artist, and he's like a rock artist, and he just posted a reel of him doing this like really upbeat pop song. And it just felt, I was like, oh man, my prayer is I just hope artists are being authentic. If you're being authentic to who you are, you could try any style you want. But oftentimes I worry that people are chasing trends, right? They're seeing what's popping off and then they're chasing that. Um, and I think that's one of the ways God showed his face to me most clearly in the last 2 years is um, just affirming the choices I was making with my life. Like God, affirming my decision to get off socials, right? Affirming my decision to double down on songwriting, affirming my decision to prioritize my family first, even though I quit my full-time job to be an artist, and it could have been like hustle, grind, work until I'm red in the face and sweat and blood, and it's like, no, like God has been so faithful to my trust in him, in my pursuit of peace that only he can provide. And these songs, I think, are the fruit of that. And for me, I'm a hip hop / pop artist. I actually like to tell people I'm a hip hop artist with a worship leader's heart. I a lot of my songs start on the guitar, and I think the style of music I make is starting to become very, very trendy. And so I do worry about that. I'm like, man, am I going to be influenced by the Forrest Franks, the Connor Price, the Nick D? Even like, one of my biggest influences are, Toby Mac, John Bellion, Macklemore. some Christian, some non-Christian artists. And in the last 2 years, I shut it all off. Like I did not listen to any music. Like people will be like, "Oh, what do you listen to?" And I'm like, "I listen to jazz." Like that's it. Like I only listen to either lo-fi music or jazz music. I don't listen to anything else because I want all of my inspiration and my thoughts to come from what God is speaking to me and the style that I want, like I feel called to make, and not be influenced by what's trending or what's popular. And I think we did that. Like this record, I listened to all these songs and it's modern. Like it sounds very modern and has a lot of really cool sounds. And, but it's not, and there's not one song on the album that feels like it's trying to be something it's not. There's not one song on the album where it's like, oh, he was chasing that. And that's one thing I've always loved about Toby Mac. One of my greatest inspirations is through the ups and downs of styles and genres and what's popping and what's trending. Toby always comes out with a record and you're like, man, he just is so true to himself. And he's always crafting a new sound that's fresh and clean and attractive and, sonically awesome, but it never feels like he's chasing anything. So I try to model that in my music. I think we have some really cool songs on this album. And I'm really proud of the fact that we kind of shut out all the distractions and we're like, you know what, we're going to make what we feel called to make and not chase what someone else is doing right now.
I like how you brought up Toby Mac. I think his Life After Death album is one of my favorite albums of all time in Christian music. Like, that album was just so impactful and so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. I mean, he's a storyteller, right? And I think, what you can run into is if you're just trying to chase a sound or a trend is you lose the element of a story. And I think that's one of the most powerful parts about good songs is they tell stories, right? They take people on a journey. And if you're just chasing a trend or you're just chasing a sonic trend, you're gonna lose that whole element to your songs and your music.
And what's powerful is with the music industry is everyone has their own unique sound, and it makes this genre, how do you say, like, diverse in so many ways. Like there, you can have like, oh, I'm a Christian rock artist. I'm a Christian rock artist too, but then you have like screamo, you have like garage rock, you have like I've been seeing a big emergence in pop punk, like Christian pop punk a lot.
Yeah, totally. I love it. I think there's so much room for it. The world is so big. I think there's an audience for everything. And so I love watching all this creativity kind of blossom and flourish across the industry right now.
With seasons coming out, do you have any behind the scenes stories, like any fun, unexpected stories that you would like to share?
Oh, I got it. Yeah. Gosh, I got a ton. There's two stories that I think that come to mind right away. Is one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite. There's a song on the album called "Die Trying," and it's just about me not feeling. It's my story of like how I don't feel like I'm ever good enough, and I compare myself to a lot of people. And God, I know I'll never figure this out, but I'll die trying. Right? Like I'll spend my whole life trying to be good enough. So it's kind of this play on like I know that's not healthy. Like that I'm trying to overwork myself into being good enough. Like I know I'm loved as I am as a son of God, and I know where my identity lies, but that's the temptation, right? Is to like, so it's just this honest song about my pursuit of being valued and good enough in my career and fatherhood as a person. And the day we wrote that song, I had a session scheduled with my producer, and I was not feeling inspired. I had zero energy. The day before was just a terrible day at work for me. I was just in my studio, like banging my head against the wall. At this time, I was in my basement studio. I have a new studio now, but I was in the basement. So I heard my kids running around upstairs all day. They were banging on the floor. They were making a ton of noise. So I was kind of coming off of like a really discouraging day. And I was driving to the studio, and I said to myself, honestly, out loud, I was like, man, well, if I can't be creative today, or if I'm not feeling creative, at least I can be honest. And I sang out loud this line, with a melody that I sang, my life is now divided between my family, my sanity. How did they become enemies? And I just sang it out loud. I was like, that was the cry of my heart, is like, I feel like God, me working in my house now in my basement is making me go crazy because I hear the chaos of family life and it's distracting me. And I can't stand that I'm distracted by the chaos of family life. I want to be a good present dad. And so it was this tension in my heart. And so I just sang it out loud. It was like the most honest thing that I could say. And I show up at the session and I'm like, hey, I think this is the song. Like, this is what I want to put into a song, is this line. And it became this really cool song called Die Trying. And it's the song that has been getting, like, as I've shared the record with people, and um, I'd be happy to share a copy of it with you before it comes out if you want to listen. As I've been sharing it with people, it's been the one song off the record that almost, I mean, 9 out of 10 times people are like, dude, Die Trying, like that song. Um, so yeah, that story. And then there's, gosh, I mean, one of my cousin who drums for me, um, he's a producer, and we had 10 songs slotted for this record. We had to drop one of the songs because of the feature on it. Couldn't finish it in time, and we kind of knew that. So I was like, all right, let's save the song to be a single in 2026, and I'll replace it. My cousin Patrick was, he went to a concert and was inspired and stayed up to like 3 a.m. and he texted me this beat. He's like, hey, I wrote this, I created this instrumental, this beat. I think it's going to be called Carry Me, and I have some ideas for lyrics if you want to hear it. I was like, yeah, man, send it over. And I really liked it. And so I was like, I don't know what we're going to do with this, but let's finish it. And so called up my go-to writer in Nashville, Phoebe, and I was like, hey, do you want to finish the song with me and my cousin? She's like, yep. So we hopped on a write. We finished it, and we all were like, dang, this song is good. Like, we like this track. And this was like a couple weeks before we were kind of getting into like finish the album. And we needed this like 10th song. And so I went to my cousin. I was like, hey, could I put this on my album? Like, are you cool with like this going on the record? And he doesn't produce me. Like, he's a budding producer. He's kind of just getting started. And he's like, yeah, I mean, if you want to. So it was cool. So it was just fun. It was a fun moment for him to get a big cut, like his first cut on a record. And I really like the song. It's a fun, upbeat pop song, and the message is really powerful. And Phoebe is just a rock star when it comes to melodies. So yeah, it was a really fun song to write, and it's a really fun song to perform too. So
Cool. And like those things that happen, the unexpected things are always the best way, because I feel like there's a lot of songs that people want to cut from an album or add into an album last minute, and I feel like those are always like the most impactful and most like important ones that everyone flocks to.
yeah, and it's kind of been an anthem. Like, the song's called Carry Me, and it's just about like how it's kind of me crying out saying, like, God, you carried me then, carry me now through all that I'm going through. I've seen you do it once, do it again. And I go back and listen to it as like, I need to hear this song. Like, God, you provided for us last month. I need you to provide again this month. I like, so it's a powerful song, and it's convicting every time I listen to it.
Hope your cousin wasn't coming back from a Coldplay concert. Okay, too soon. Too soon. Dude,
Not quite. No.
that thing's just been like up the internet lately. Like every time I go on
Oh my
Instagram or
gosh.
Facebook, I see like one of those, and it's like you always have the meme of the summer, and that's like the meme of the summer.
It's crazy how much that can kind of just spread across all platforms so fast.
And what do you have any goals or like dreams you hope with this album? Like, do you plan on like doing any like shows? I know you just did a live fest, or do you have like any goals or something you want to work on with this album, like to help promote the album?
Yeah, I mean, I'm treating it like it's a collection of 10 singles. And so I'm kind of I'm reverse promoting it. So I'm putting an album out, but then I'm going to promote each song like they're individual singles. So for between August 5th and January 1st, it's about every 3.5 weeks, I'm going to promote each song like it's a single. So for 3 weeks, you will see me go hard on socials promoting one song at a time. So for 3 weeks, it'll be the title track Seasons. And then for the next 3 weeks, it'll be the next song, Oxygen or Sun Comes Up or whatever they are. Because when someone's on their feed, they don't know if songs are singles or if they're cut from albums or whatever. And so for me, it's like, well, I want to put an album out. I want to get 10 of my best songs out there, and then promote each one like it's a single, so that if something pops off or if people really like it, they can end up back on Spotify and be like, dang, there's 10, there's 9 more for me to go listen to. So the goal in terms of promoting it is just to go hard in the paint with content, really, really crush Instagram and TikTok, and get these songs to people. I'm doing a fall tour, so we're doing about 10 to 15 dates across the Midwest this fall, which I'm really, really excited about. We're still locking some of those in, but they're coming in and they're getting on the calendar, which is awesome. And honestly, man, I I believe these songs are going to reach people, like, because they're written from the most honest places in my heart. And so I know there's people out there who will benefit from them, and I just can't wait to hear those stories.
The most honest songs, like the most honest songs, are like the most impactful songs, and I see that a lot now. Like for like every artist, like we brought up Toby Mac earlier, like 21 Years. That was like a big, impactful and honest song.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's like Spirit by like Jamie McDonald, like all those like impactful songs, like they're all like personal stories, and I feel like that's what this music industry is going to. Katie Nicole has like a lot of like honest songs too recently.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
where a lot of the people are flocking towards now.
Yeah, they just, I mean, in our increased, in the world, in a world where digital entertainment is becoming more and more, and there's more and more distraction, and there's more and more fake everything. People just want what's real, and it takes a lot of work to write that. You have to go through renditions of songs, and it's gold. It's mining for gold, right? You're just digging in your heart all day long to try to figure out how can I just say what's honest in a way that people can relate to. So yeah, it's a fun challenge, and I think we struck gold with some of the songs on this record, and gets me excited for some of this stuff I'm writing for 2026 and beyond.
Everyone should flock towards the album, listen to it, leave a comment, tell us how you think about the comments.
Yeah, please
And
do.
follow Connor's journey on Instagram. He has a lot of engaging reels with it. And like he said, he's going to promote the heck out of all of these songs. So it's going to be exciting
right.
to see.
I hope I'm annoying online. That's the goal.
You're not being annoying online. You're not doing your job right. That's what I
That's
say.
right. Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I feel like the bigger social media presence you have, the more active your fan base will be. That's my reason. Again, I found that out.
Yeah, and it's kind of I feel like it's becoming more and more of a common thread in the industry, or talked about. It takes around 7 touch points for somebody to buy something. If you're like affiliate marketing or whatever it be, like someone has to see something around 7 times before they go click on it. And I think I noticed that in my own life. If I just bought some like supplements off an Instagram ad, and it was like, man, I saw that ad so many times before I clicked on it. And I think a lot of musicians are adopting that mentality of like, man, artists, or your average consumer needs to see your music pop up in their feed multiple times, building trust with you as an artist before they go and get off the app into Spotify or Apple Music to actually, engage with your platforms there. So that's the goal. It's just to flood the market and create content that's meaningful and encouraging and inspiring for people, and, really get them to come back and listen to the record.
I was doing some of my artist research. If you want to check out some of Connor's music that's out, if we're posting this before the season, you had a song with Seth Schleter before, like even Counting My Blessings come out, and that was really cool to see when I was researching a little bit.
Yeah, Seth's family. It's not it's not public knowledge, but he and I go back. We're second cousins, I think. So I knew him growing up. One of the first shows I did, was his dad runs a ministry out of Toledo, Ohio, and he had me come out and do a show for them. And I remember Seth was like, I don't know, 10 or 12 years old, like in the audience, like rocking to my show. But yeah, I love Seth. I'm so proud of him. He's crushing it. And yeah, that song is one of my favorite songs I've ever written to date. And I would love to get more ears on it, because Seth's verse on it even is one of my favorite verses. Like, I sent him that song to write to it, and within like 2 hours, he was just like, "Hey, how does this sound?" And I was like, "Bro, you need to do more hip hop songs, man. Your voice, like his voice just crushes on this verse. It's got like an old school kind of Post Malone, Kid Leroy type feel to it." And so one of these days when we're playing the same festival, we're going to do that song together live, and it's going to be a blast.
So, and for those who haven't watched it, you can check out my interview with Seth Schleter. It's about a year ago, so you're going to have to deep dive in this channel, but that was a great, fun interview to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to go listen to that too. I'm excited to hear what y'all talked about.
And do you have any more festivals at this year? I know you just did a live fest. Do you have like any like favorite memories of a live fest, or is there a festival you wish you could play at one day?
I mean, a live fest was always the big one. Obviously we'd love to go back, right? It would be we made a lot of great connections there and met some new fans. And so it would be awesome to have a chance to go back. And their team, the Alive Festival team, is unreal. I have never worked with a festival team that was across the board, from the first email I got to the last person I shook hands with and said goodbye to when we were like on the festival grounds. Every single person, from tech to crew members to the owners of the festival to catering to stage management, every single person was unbelievably hospitable, kind. They cared for us. Our needs were taken care of. It was really like next level. So that was a huge shout out to the Alive Fest team because they were unreal. But Kingdom Bound, was another one that's been on the books for a while. We've gone back and forth with them a lot, and we're just trying to find the right time to make it happen. And then you name it. As an independent artist, I'm always reaching out and trying to get on the bill, and which is hard to do, but it's you just got to keep knocking. And we've had a lot of success just knocking. We played Creation Festival a handful of years ago before it shut down. River Rock Festival out in Maine, awesome festival. They had to close too, but man, it was a really cool festival. So yeah, I'm grateful as an independent artist. People are always taking a chance on us because we don't have major label backing or anything like that. And so when people do, I take it serious. Like we really want to deliver and bring a ton of value to these festivals and to the stages that we're on. Because I'm always so honored that we get an opportunity. So yeah, we'll play whatever comes our way. So if there's festivals listening to this, hit us up. We'd love to play it. Some of my favorite events we play are the smallest ones. We played a budding festival called Break the Chains in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And the stage was like a tractor trailer with a tent on top of it. And it was unbelievable. The ministry, it's a ministry helping people who struggle with addictions, and they're helping them break their chains. And so it's just, they saw us at Creation and then asked us to come play their festival the first year they did it. And it was just unbelievable people. Again, so kind, so intentional, so genuine, such huge hearts for the work they were doing in this tiny town. And, it's one of those things where they bring you in to kind of bless them and give your performance. And we end up leaving feeling almost more blessed by who they were and how they served us and the opportunity that they gave us and the conversations that we had and the people that we prayed with or prayed with us. Like we always leave these events feeling so spoiled, like, wow, we get to do this. And people like want us to come in. And, so yeah, it's events, big or small, stages that are big or small. It doesn't matter. Like we love being able to use our gifts to honor God and to serve people and to bring joy, to whatever atmosphere and environment that we're in. So
I recommend checking out Unity Fest. This is fun one for you. Like I'm talking to you right
Yeah.
here. Like Unity Fest in Michigan. They have a couple independent artists this year. So that this year, before Eli Gable was signing with Capitol Records, that they have Eli Gable. They have the band Jaren coming up. They have Caleb and John. So
yeah. I don't know if I've reached out to Unity Fest. I've seen them and their stuff from afar for a while now, and it looks like an awesome festival. So I'll have to
just right across a lake and a state from you. So
Yeah, it's not far. Michigan, though, depending on where you're trying to go in Michigan, it can be a funny place to get to because, the big hand, I don't know, however you guys do it, if in some ways it might even be, easier for me to go way north up through Canada and then come back down. We played Big Ticket Festival, which is like northern Michigan. And that one was a long one to get to because once you get to Michigan, you're like, oh wait, we still have like 3 more hours to drive north to get to this festival. So,
and festivals are always fun to go to. Like you said, festivals are just a great thing. I feel like that's a big thing in Christian music. I feel like festivals are like the summer version of Winter Jam, but it's every festival is like a different.
yeah, it's so the festival environment is like electric. Like everyone's just there to have a good time, to cheer each other on, to support each other. We're at a live fest, we're meeting other bands, we're in the front row at other people's sets, like cheering them on. And I love live music. Like as an artist, I am an artist because I fell in love with live music, and so I still love going to shows. Like I still love being a fan, even if it's the smallest artist. It doesn't matter. Like every show I play, if I have an opener, I'm always down in front watching the opener. At the festival, like all the artists who played on the stage that we played on, I was down in the crowd. Like I'm like, these are. I want to support y'all. Like I don't just believe in what I'm doing. I believe in what this industry is doing. And I'm a big fan of the industry too. I'm a big fan of all these artists because gosh, the world needs it. The world needs more artists who are Christians, who are trying to, preach the gospel in dark places and even in light places. People who do believe need more encouragement to keep going because life is hard,
Great to have a community.
Yeah. And so festivals are just like a shot in the arm. They're like a great place to just get excited about what you're doing, connect with other artists, find awesome new artists, drink lemonade, eat funnel cakes, do the whole thing.